Hey everybody, in this video I'm gonna show you a stock that has outperformed the S&P 500 by 529% in the last 5 years, from August 2nd, 2016 to August 2nd, 2021. Have you ever wondered how much money you would have made in the last 5 years if you had bought this stock 5 years ago? Let me show you the numbers. $600 invested in an S&P 500 index fund became $1,217. The same amount invested in IDEXX stock became $4,392. Those ones who invested $600 in S&P 500 instead in IDEXX lost $3,175 in the last 5 years. If one had invested $2,400 in any S&P 500 index fund, that money would have been turned into $4,867. The same amount invested in IDEXX stock became $17,568. Those ones who invested $2,400 in S&P 500 instead in IDEXX lost $12,701 in the last 5 years. 6,000 invested in any S&P 500 index fund became $12,168. The same amount invested in IDEXX stock became $43,920. Those ones who invested $6,000 in S&P 500 instead in IDEXX lost $31,752 in the last 5 years. It pays to be the dominant player in a niche industry, and this certainly holds true for IDEXX Laboratories. Over 2020, IDEXX stock has soared by 105%, driven by a number of tailwinds. Fast growers with industry-leading positions have a place in most portfolios. These may be the type of investments that one can set in a portfolio and leave there for many years, until they need to be cashed out. IDEXX Laboratories may be one such stock. Its shares have performed spectacularly, returning 30% since April, far surpassing the 5.6% of the S&P 500. IDEXX Laboratories is a member of S&P 500 and is an industry leader in pet healthcare innovation. It primarily develops, manufactures and distributes diagnostic products, equipment, and services for pets and livestock that deliver solutions and insights to practicing veterinarians globally, enabling them to provide advanced medical care, improve staff efficiency, and build more efficient practices, enabling them to provide advanced medical care, improve staff efficiency, and build more efficient practices, thereby resulting in more economically successful practices. Its key product lines include single-use canine and feline test kits that veterinarians can employ in the office, benchtop chemistry and hematology analyzers for test panel analysis on-site, reference lab services, and tests to detect and manage disease in livestock. The firm also offers vet practice management software and consulting services to animal hospitals. IDEXX gets about 38% of its revenue from outside the United States. It offers diagnostic and software. IDEXX also provides diagnostic services for livestock and poultry, and its products are used in 175 countries. One of the reasons why IDEXX stock has performed so well is its strong track record of execution. This is reflected by IDEXX's impressive revenue growth as it's expanded its scale and leadership position in its core segment. Over the past 5 years, IDEXX revenue has grown by a robust 45%. On top of that, operating margin has grown by 870 basis points over the same time frame, from 19.2% in 2016 to 27.9% in the trailing 12 months. The margin growth has contributed to faster bottom-line growth than top-line, with earnings per share growing by 231% over the same 5 years. It appears that IDEXX is unfazed by the pandemic. This is reflected by fourth quarter 2020 revenue growing organically by 17% year over year. On a constant currency basis, operating margin grew by 340 basis points year-over-year. This combined with revenue growth translated into impressive earnings per share growth of 31% year-over-year on a constant currency basis. These strong results were driven by sustained strong global trends in pet healthcare and by companion animal year-over-year. IDEXX has a strong historical earnings growth. IDEXX earnings grew 525.9% in the last 10 years. A company's earnings are its profits. Good companies should show a track record of strong earnings growth over the previous 5 to 10 years. Looking forward, the market expects further runway for growth as supported by management's guidance for 17.5% earnings per share growth this year on a constant currency basis. This is driven by anticipated strong sustained global trends in pet healthcare, as consumers have increasingly adopted pets to combat feelings of isolation during the pandemic. This trend might continue for the foreseeable future, given that COVID rates remain stubbornly high in many parts of the world, including the United States. IDEXX has a strong return on equity growth. A good rule of thumb is to compare a company's present return on equity to the 5-year average return on equity of the company. The actual return on equity is 97.4%, which is greater than the 5-year average of 26.2%. A company's return on equity measures its profitability by revealing how much profit a company generates with the money shareholders have invested. Stable or increasing return on equity indicates that management is doing a good job generating returns from shareholders' investments and operating the business efficiently. IDEXX has a strong stock performance. IDEXX's stock price has outperformed the S&P 500 by 529% in the last 5 years. In 2020, during pandemic, IDEXX's stock price raised 91.4%, outperforming the S&P 500 by 75.1%. What's next for IDEXX? IDEXX Laboratories is a noteworthy company and an industry leader in the field of veterinary healthcare. It has seen impressive growth, and this trend has accelerated this year as pet adoptions and the demand for veterinary services increased. Looking forward, IDEXX may probably expand its presence through cloud-based offerings, which comes with an attractive revenue stream and helps to further establish IDEXX's relationship with veterinary practices. Plus, sentimental differences between generations support IDEXX's core business. As seen, millennials and Gen Z are far more likely to take their pet in for preventative care checkups and plan to spend more on their pets this year than they were prior to the pandemic. Click the button below to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos helping you have huge gains above the S&P 500 index in the stock market. See you in the next video. Take care.